What up, how's it going, and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys a Talon Reroll guide for TFT Set 6. Now, this is one of the easiest and one of the best builds to play on the current patch. When I'm filming this on 12.4b, if you're watching this on a later patch, I can't imagine the build changes too much because this build is very standard and very easy. So with that out of the way, let's just get into it. All right, here we have Talon. Okay, so these are going to be the units that we play around about 90% of the games that you're going to be playing Talon Reroll. It's going to be Talon, Syndra, Leona, Echo, and Blitz. Those are just really just a stock synergy. I mean, just look at the synergies, guys. Very clean, very easy to play. Your build can look very different depending on your augments, if you have debonair hearts and stuff like that. So just play around those hearts. If you have debonair hearts, if you have assassins, I think on the current patch, it is better to have more debonairs than it is to have assassins if you're going to choose between the two, if you have the option. So I would prefer more debonair, but just be very careful when you do debonair that your Talon does not have the most HP on your team, or he will get enforced, and that is very bad for Talon builds. So just be a little careful with debonair because he will max out on HP if he's 3-starred and no one else is. You need to make sure you get HP on someone else. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing this. And obviously the other unit you could add here that naturally fits into this build is Zyra. But I find Zyra to not be that important for this build because you can play loads of different scholars. That's why I didn't include her in here. But when you're rolling on 6, and we'll get into that in a second, Zyra is another unit that you can just basically run every game if you don't know what to run. But if you don't know what to run, you run these units every game, and that'll set you up pretty well. So our item starts, it's going to be Glove, and we'll get into Talon's items at the end of the video. But we're going to start Glove. After that, it's kind of weird. Like Rod and Bow are both fine. And you don't really want to go sword because you really only want to use one sword. You could use a couple more, but having a bunch of extra rods isn't actually the end of the world. And you do need 2 bows. So it's not so bad if you get, it's not so bad if you get a ton of rods, because I'll show you guys a build on Talon that I first placed with in Grandmaster just right before filming this video. It does not look like your conventional Talon build with my items. So I think Glove and Rod are the best, and then Bow to a lesser degree. After that, I don't think this is a very good starting item for Talon if you're trying to force it. Just go defensive item or belts or something like that. It could be fine. Okay, so some augments that are going to be pretty decent. Any type of debonair augment's going to be very good. Any type of assassin augment's going to be very good. And any type of healing is going to be very good. So any of those, and you're good to go. After that, just situational based off the game. There's so many crazy augments, but if you don't know what to go, debonair, sin, and healing are going to be your best bets. All right, early game. How do we play our early game? So I think you have 2 options to play out the early game. Let's go to option 1. Option 1 is to pre-level at the normal intervals. So if you don't know what that means to pay for XP to within 2 XP of leveling, which will cause you to automatically level on the following round. It makes your shop odds better for 2 and 3 costs. That's the purpose of pre-leveling. And you do these on the standard intervals are the augment round. So the first augment round, you pay for a pre-level, and the round before second carousel, you'll pay for a pre-level there if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. And then so you'll pre-level at those intervals so that you can hit Talon, hit Echo, hit your Syndra, hit all these. So that's why I think it's very good to do that. And you'll be playing strongest board when you're doing that. So you're trying to be as strong as you can during this time. So you may be playing a different composition. You may be playing, I don't know, like a Ziggs carry until you hit your Talon or something like that. So you just play upgraded units, play strongest board until you can move into these units and play around these units. One thing I do want to say, it's very important to get VIP Talon. So getting in a debonair trio as early as you can so that you can hit your VIP. It's very important to just wait to hit the Talon. You can totally just VIP Syndra even in a Talon build, but you have to be willing to itemize Syndra and kind of run a Syndra focused build. So if you're not willing to play a Syndra focused build, just wait out for Talon, because there's a big difference between Talon VIP and non-Talon VIP. So yeah, you really do want to wait for Talon, but you can play for Syndra if you're willing to itemize her. Cool. So that's it. Really simple, right? Option number 2 is you don't pre-level and you just play full econ into a force. So you play for maximum econ. You're going to be really weak. You full loss streak all the way into the next rounds of PvE, and then you roll somewhere on stage 3 for your 2-star board. That is hard forcing. So you can hard force if you want. Totally, you can do that every game if you'd like. I prefer option 1 in the current meta. I think pre-leveling is very strong, especially because we are playing for all 2 and 3 costs in this build. I think pre-level is very strong for that purposes, just to get the early units. I also think it's very strong because rerolling 2 and 3 costs on the current patch that I'm filming this on is very strong. So I much prefer option 1 in the current meta. But, you know, depending on when you're watching this video, you know, choose option 1 or option 2, just depending on what's strong for the meta. But I definitely do prefer option 1 at this time. Okay, mid game. So mid game, I roll down. Anytime I want to play this comp, I will roll down on level 6 on stage 3 augment round. So I really like when I play reroll builds to roll on augment round, because I wait till the augment round on stage 3 augment round so that I can, you know, see what I'm going to roll for, right? You know, see if I got like an assassin augment or I got debonair augment. Can really change the units that you want to look for, as well as you get a lot of extra time on the round. If you select your augment quickly, it gives you a lot more time to transition your board. So I always roll an augment round to stabilize, unless I'm just high rolling and I don't need to roll. So I'll roll it down to stabilize, which usually just means upgrading my whole board. At the very least, you need to upgrade your Talon at the very least, but usually means upgrading like almost all of your units is what I would do for that, kind of roll till I'm strong. Especially if you played a weak early game, I would roll till I'm strong every single time. Cool. And so after that, you just continue to slow roll on level 6. So you don't level, you stay level 6. And so after you roll down to stabilize, you econ back up to 50 and you just slow roll the rest of stage 3 and most of stage 4. You know, if you are really low on health and you start losing rounds, you might just need to all in for your Talon 3. But in normal games, when you're kind of keeping up with normal tempo of the lobby, you'll want to just stay 6 and slow roll on 50 for the rest of the game until you hit your Talon 3, and we'll talk about what to do after that. But yeah, you'll just slow roll until you hit your Talon 3, or if you get super close to hitting your Talon 3, you just send it to get your Talon 3 to spike. But yeah, that's what you do. That's how you play mid game. Mid game is very simple. And so the 3-star value in order. So what are the most important units to 3-star? It's Talon by a long shot is the most important in a Talon. If you're not going to side carry Syndra, if you're main carrying Talon, it is super important to hit Talon 3. That is the win condition of this composition, Talon 3, and nothing else. After that, to a much lesser degree, Echo 3 is very strong, and Syndra 3 is very strong. Syndra 3 is very strong if you itemize her, but even without items, very strong. And then to a much lesser degree, Blitz and Leona are solid in here. Leona, if you 3-star, can buy a lot more time for Talon, can tank a lot more of the enemies, so that's great. And then Blitz can be very effective in just like one-shotting at the beginning of the fight with the Talon and Blitz combo. If you don't know the Talon and Blitz combo, you just put them on opposite sides of each other. Talon jumps, he procs his bleed, Blitz hooks, and that target usually dies either while they're in the air or while they're CC'd by Blitz. So it's very good combo. So Blitz and Leona can be good for that purpose, but it's really not that important. And then to even lesser degree, Zyra 3. The reason why Zyra 3 is not super valuable in this comp, Zyra 3 can be very good in specific matchups, especially backline focused comps. Like Zyra 3 is a good unit, don't sleep on it. But you know, you're just working with, you know, a finite amount of bench space and a finite amount of gold. In Zyra 3, this depends on matchup, but Zyra 3, Renata 2-star, and Silco 1 are like all comparable in power. So that's why it's just the least important, because, you know, you want to have Talon, Syndra, and Echo 3-star way more than you want to have something like Zyra, because you can just play Renata or Silco. Okay, cool. So let's go to the late game. Now I'm going to show you a picture. This is a board that I just first placed with in Grandmaster Evo, and I just wanted to show you this exact board because this does not look like, you know, this is not ideal. You know, look at the Talon items. Like, this is not ideal. And I just wanted to show you guys this to show you that you don't need best and solid items. You just need to meet the conditions that Talon needs. So Talon needs uptime. So QSS is great for uptime. RFC is great for uptime. That's why, you know, they're even paired together because it's great for uptime. So Talon needs to be able to get his auto attacks off. So that's why QSS is really good, really great on him. He needs damage amp. Yo, he's AP. Rabadon's is great on him, especially when you're dealing true damage. It is super great on him. I do think IE is better, but you know, I got a bunch of rods, so I'm just gonna play this. I couldn't get an IE. I got an IE later. I just got this off of like a full item off carousel, and I just tossed it on Echo. He actually did a lot of damage because he was 3-starred this game. I'll show you guys the 3-stars that I had. I had these 3 stars. That's it. I just had these 3 stars, and then everything was 2-starred except for Renata. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you guys this board, and then I had Zhonya's to give me even further uptime. So it was like I had an RFC because I got the Orin augment, right? So I didn't hit an RFC, so I built this item. I actually hit the components for RFC later, but I already had a Zhonya's because I took this at 2nd augment. So we're big chilling. Guys, I first placed this lobby in Grandmaster with 70 HP, and I was sitting on 50 gold. I was going 9 next turn to get a Silco and play 4 Scholar or something. So I just wanted to show you guys, to give you guys an example of like, it doesn't have to be exactly what you think Talon's items don't have to be perfect. A lot of people think they have to be perfect, but you just need to make sure he has a lot of uptime and he has damage amp. Those are very important. As well as, this is best in slot on Talon for sure. But other items that are fine, like Gunblade is okay. Hodge is fine for damage amp. Jeweled is fine for damage amp. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, that's gonna be it for the video. Very simple guide. I think this is one of the easiest comps to play in the game. So not really much to talk about here. I just appreciate everybody came by for this video. If you guys like this video, then please like the video. You don't even know how much it actually helps you on YouTube. So if you do like the video, please like the video or comment. I look at all the comments, stuff like that. If you guys want more of me, I stream at twitch.tv/TFT. I stream about 4 days a week right now. And I post every day at twitter.com/TFT if you want me there. Anyways, hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and wherever you are, I just hope you're doing well. See you guys. Bye.